The relationship between Paul and Sabu has had its ups and downs.
Yeah, it had. But Sabu, again, he's such a, he tried to be, he was taught by his uncle and he tried to be his uncle. And, but deep down inside, he's not. He's a very, and maybe I'll get in trouble for this, but he's just a very kind, almost, sad soul, where, all he wants to do is wrestle and be the best he could be in wrestling. And, me and Sean Waltman were talking about this not too long ago. Sabu should be a millionaire for the things he's done for this business. He helped revolutionize the way we do pro wrestling in America. And for whatever reason, I can tell you some of the things, but I don't want to get into it. But he's, he's broke and and he's older now, and it breaks my heart. But
was it mismanagement on his end, or him just not being appreciated by people?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. He certainly made money. Not money, not like WCW money or WWE money. He's had opportunities and he's had moments, but not like he went and bought all these fancy cars and all these big houses, and then all of a sudden he couldn't pay them.
Who originally proposes doing this? Is this a New Jack idea? Or?
I'm sure it is a New Jack idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's planned ahead by any spot like this, any high-risk spot, do you notify Paulie? Are we to assume Paulie knew what was going to happen?
I'm assuming Paulie probably asked
Sabu to do it.
Or something.
Jack to do it.
Yeah.
Bruce Mitchell wrote of the incident, quote, "Point the finger for a man almost dying, for a locker room full of his peers with fear caught in their throats, for a ruined show straight at Paul Heyman. This wasn't an accident, it was an inevitability as long as Heyman sent New Jack show after show with the unspoken contract that as long as he did his dangerous spot, he would keep Jack in the business, and since no one else would ever hire the guy." Accurate?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Did either of them get in trouble with management after?
No, because Paul, hey, nobody got hurt seriously. Paul welcomed the controversy afterwards.
Right.
Because as Eric Bischoff's book said, controversy creates cash, and more people calling the 900 number, if you recall that, and all those other things that they had, and I'm sure a lot of that stuff ended up being a work shoot thing.
Were you guys watching?
I did not. No, I did not.
What about the heat between the two of them stemming from that?
I think a lot of it might have been 50-50. I think half shoot, half work. I don't think they liked each other, but it wasn't. Yeah, exactly.
Talk about three-way tag matches. The difficulties, the I can't imagine there wouldn't be confusion at times.
Very.
Tough.
Yeah, very.
Did you like them personally, or is it something you prefer not to be in?
I hated them. Okay. I hate all three ways. I was just in a four-way match in Mexico, not speaking the language, so you could imagine. What
do you do? Literally, what do you do?
You just go. You really, you have a couple spots with each guys, and you just go grab a guy and you just wrestle. Some turn out well. Some turn out well. Some depends how the rapport you have with guys, or if you have a couple of spots with a certain guy, you could mix and match. And hey, I'll go with this one because him and I could do this one ducky flippy thing, and then I'll hit this other.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, 2 guys are on the apron or on the outside, and the other guys are doing it, and then a couple, somebody else goes out, somebody else comes in. So
how much is discussed beforehand with something like this, or is that up to the individuals involved?
It's up to the individuals involved. Yeah, matches like that though, I always had to kind of really talk a lot and really pre-plan quite a bit.
Did Heyman not? No, I mean, he had a contract with ECW also. Did Paulie not try to enforce it or try to get him to honor it, or did he just?
The contracts Paul had on us were so flimsy. I mean, some were. I remember Paul having some contracts actually written on napkins. Some of. I mean, it was pretty. I mean, in a court of law, some of that stuff is laughable. So I don't know.
Literally a napkin.
Literally, yeah. I mean, so it's happened.
You were under a contract, I assume not on a napkin at the time.
I was on a contract, not under a napkin, but I'd still. Well, we'll get to it later. Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't want